Three, two, one. Hello, welcome to our soft launch. I'm Jimena Medina,
And I'm Denise Smith.
I'm Jasmine Gonzalez.
and our special guest today is.
Deborah Ferguson.
It's so nice to have you here today.
Really, we were just going to ask you a few questions. First, starting with how you exactly got into the career that you are in right now. We would love to learn about
We're
that.
going to go back a few decades then, right, Denise?
I guess so.
Well, let us go way back to the third grade. I was in the third grade when I decided I wanted to be a reporter. So I'm the oldest of three girls, and my dad would always read the newspaper every morning at the dining room table. And so I would sit and read the newspaper as well. And this was in San Antonio. My family was living in San Antonio at the time. And we'd read the newspaper, and there was a story in San Antonio that I kept reading about. And it was a story about a nurse who'd been kidnapped from the parking garage at the hospital where she worked. And that, I'm in the third grade, you're a little kid, that's scary. You know what's happened, something bad has happened to her. So every day I would want to read the paper to find out, is she okay? Did they find her? What's going on? It didn't turn out very well for the nurse. But I decided then that I liked reporting. I liked knowing what the story was. I liked following the information. I'm the oldest of three girls, so when my mom and dad would talk or my mom would talk, I'd listen in a little bit, and then I'd go tell my sisters what was going on. So I kind of thought, okay, that I'm going to be a reporter and could see my, Deborah Ferguson, could see my, byline in a newspaper. Then my family moves here to Fort Worth, and this was the summer before my sixth grade year. And for the first time, I remember watching the evening newscast, and there was a woman, and it was a woman of color during the news. Previously, it had always been men. And when I saw a woman doing the news on television, a broadcast journalist, then I thought, oh, maybe that's the kind of journalism I get into, television journalism as opposed to print journalism.
That is an amazing story and very inspiring, and would really help with just the young ladies and just people in general who would love to get into the field of work that you do. And we really do appreciate that. Did you have any questions?
One question that I had was, if you could change your career, would you? If you had an opportunity to do something else, would you?
You know what, you asked me that, and our audience can't see us, but my eyes tear up. Because for a split second, I thought, what would I do? This is my passion. This is what I want to do. I love being in community. I love meeting people. I love telling stories. I love getting the information. I love breaking stories on the news. I can't imagine doing anything else. I'm sure that when my days, right now I get up very early to go to work. I get up at 1 a.m, and I'm at work in the newsroom 2:30 in the morning, and our show starts at 4:30. So someday I think I'm going to get tired of getting up at 1 a.m, and we'll see what it looks like when that happens. I'll let you know. If you have any ideas, I'll take it.
I actually had one more question. Considering our podcast is based around, one, not only being just stuff in school, whether it be just information within school, but also being an advocacy platform for just teens in general, how do you feel about, how do you feel about the advocacy perspective of just the things that we're kind of working towards? If that makes sense.
I think it's good, Denise. You all are young women in this school. You know better than me what your peers, what your classmates need, what they're talking about, where they're struggling. And I think that with this podcast, you can fill a void. You can listen in the hallways, you can listen in the lunchrooms, you can listen in your classrooms to what your sisters are saying, and then see if it's making sense to them. And if it's not, bring it up in a podcast. You don't have to call anybody out. You don't say, oh my gosh, I heard Susie over there. Susie was having real trouble with XYZ. You don't do that. But what you do is you hear your sisters, and then you bring that expert into your podcast, and you talk about, well, at this school, we know some of our sisters are having trouble with XYZ, whatever that might be. We know that our sisters want to learn more about ABC. So, Claire, you're our expert today. Help us understand this issue. Help us know how to handle this when something comes up. Does that make sense, Denise? Does that answer what you're looking for?
Okay. Thank you so much.
You're the voice of your community. And that is a gift, And that is a responsibility for each of you. If you are taking on this podcast, you are taking on a very big responsibility. Yes, it's about fueling your own interest, deciding whether you like this interviewing and getting information, but you are also the voice for your sisters. And you have a responsibility to be an authentic voice and to give them information that can help.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much, Ms. Deborah Ferguson. If I'm correct, I believe that concludes all of our questions. We really do appreciate you coming to and just letting us interview you. We really enjoyed it. So I want to say thank you. And I think that goes for all of us.
Yeah, y'all are great. This is going to be
Thank you so
successful. I
much.
know it. I know it. All right, y'all have a good afternoon.
Thank
You
you.
too.